What's up guys, this is Miasin. So we just got a bunch of new cards announced for Alliance Insight, as well as some good and bad news depending on how you see it. So this does concern the Blue Eyes players out there, unfortunately, and fortunately for everyone else who didn't really plan on playing Blue Eyes, because they're gonna have to deal with slightly less degeneracy. Anyways, before we go into reviewing any of these new cards and news, whatever, friendly reminder of course to smash the like and subscribe button, and also most importantly, check out my new CRYSTRON spreadsheet. I mean, it's relatively new, it's been out for a week, and just in case you've never heard about it, there you go. So just in case you didn't know much before, the spreadsheet has absolutely all the info you need if you are planning on building the CRYSTRON deck, which is the best deck that is coming out of Supreme Darkness. My spreadsheet features visual support, which includes images and videos, while being easy to understand, regardless of whether or not you had prior experience with the deck. It comes with 50 combos that show the most optimal lines when you are interrupted, but also through hand traps such as Ash, Imperm, every Molchemy monster, Dimension Shifter, as well as Artifact Lancia. Best part is, every combo comes with their own notes so that you can understand what's going on. This spreadsheet also comes with a YCS ready decklist containing my in-depth reasoning on every card and ratio so that you don't get confused and know exactly what to buy. And if you ever encountered issues with sighting patterns, I got you, because I also cover going first and going second sighting patterns against 15 decks of the metagame. This spreadsheet also covers some alternative texts and engines that could be worth exploring the deck, as well as their pros and cons. Having access to the spreadsheet also grants you access to an ever-growing Discord community of like-minded CRYSTRON players, and also access to me, where I can answer specific questions and share updates with you. Speaking of updates, I'm even willing to add additional sections and combos to the spreadsheet if I'm asked to, and you won't have to pay again to benefit off of these updates. I'll be fully honest with you, if you're interested in CRYSTRON, the spreadsheet will not only save you hundreds of hours of theory and practice, but also a lot of money. You won't have to make unnecessary purchases since you'll already have access to an optimal deck list, and you're not gonna have to spend your days and nights coming up with combos. Also, every time you forget about a combo, you can just go back to the spreadsheet and check it out to refresh your memory. If you're interested in the spreadsheet, all you have to do is PayPal me $20 US, and make sure to state your Gmail account in the transfer so that I know who to share the spreadsheet with. If you forgot to state your Gmail in the transfer, don't worry, just email me a proof of payment with your Gmail, and I'll share the spreadsheet with you as soon as I can. Unless I'm sleeping, I should never take too long to grant you access to the spreadsheet, so don't worry about the delay. The specs of the spreadsheet alongside all the steps to buy it are at the top of the description, so please check it out as soon as you can. Anyways, with that said, let's get on with the video. Alright, absolutely beautiful. A single word matters, exactly. So instead of it being during the standby phase, so that was the mistranslation, it is during your standby phase. So in other words, you completely disregard the text that is on the physical card. You do as if it wasn't around, and you actually play by the database text, which I think is a little stupid, because it is what it is, right? There's no other way to fix it. Like, what are you gonna say? Oh, destroy all of your copies of another barrel, ship them all to us, and then we're gonna give you guys back another barrel. It literally impossible to fix just because they messed up one word. So because of that, you have to do as if the card text was different, which again, for everyone who plays at home like casual and doesn't really keep up with any of the news, they're never gonna know about that because, you know, they're not really connected to Konami's blog or something, so nobody checks that. Seriously, nobody subscribed to this, nobody cares. So unless you're religiously subscribed to YGO organization, you're never gonna know about this. So I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel about this correction of a mistranslation. Apparently this is not the first time they do that. Did it with Aluber, because at first it was only searching Despia cards, which makes no sense because the only Despia speller trap was the Theater, the field spell, and they changed it to any branded speller trap card, so obviously you can search the real card that matters, like branded fusion, stuff like that. So that was actually, I guess, an upgrade after the mistranslation, but that's a huge nerf because it's back to the original effect, which is fine, but it's not great. Because otherwise, with this effect, my god, another barrel would have been unfair. The Primate engine would have been extremely top tier, like Fiendsmith level of brokenness. Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, like I said, you guys let me know how you feel about this correction. Anyways, for the new cards, this is Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, and I know for a fact that even the players that are never gonna play this card are gonna get their hands on QCR copies of this for a reason that I will not have to state in this video because it's a little too obvious. Okay, level 6 Dark Spellcaster, exact same stats and characteristics as Dark Magician Girl. You can only special summon with the first effect once per turn, so that is an inherent summon, and then the second effect is a hard once per turn. You can special summon this card from your hand by discarding one other card, just like the Tricky, and also Magician's Apprentice, and if summoned this way, its name becomes Dark Magician Girl. Nobody really cares? Because Dark Magician Girl isn't like a really powerful name unless you play cards that really synergize with it. And those cards are, for the most part, very bad because you're not really playing them. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Shining Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand. I will take that any day of the week. That is one extra 1-card combo in the Yugi deck. So this is remarkably good. I don't know how relevant it is that you're summoning a level 6 monster because every monster in the Yugi deck has a different level. Like you got the Gandora that's level 7, if I recall correctly, Dark Magician level 7, and then this level 6, a bunch of level 4s. No, hold on a second, you do have Summon Skull, which is a level 6. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna have to do a little bit of research because I don't know if you can make some Xyz plays with this, maybe, but you're definitely not synchro summoning because you got no tuners unless you got like a hand shop that you can normal summon, which is kind of bait. I really like this already, and also you discard any other card. It's not like a very specifically one kind of card. So if you got like Fenrir in this, that's a free discard for your Dark Magician Girl, which then searches your Sarcophagus, and then you can do a bunch of cool things. So like I said, very good card, and then gains 300 attack for each monster in either graveyard that mentions Shining Sarcophagus. So this is a reference to the actual effect of Dark Magician Girl, because yes, Dark Magician Girl is an effect monster, and she gains 300 attack for every Dark Magician or Magician of Black Chaos in the graveyards. Now I get it. That's the reason why it counts both graveyards. That's actually very clever. I didn't really think of that because usually, I mean, you're never gonna have a mirror match, right? So what's the likelihood of literally playing Yugi deck versus Yugi deck? It's never gonna come up. But if it does come up, then you're gonna get an attack boost for your opponent's monster. So that's cool. Anyways, this one is... hold on a second. That's actually 2 new cards. Okay, so the first one is Tensei Ryugi Anva. Yeah, okay. Level 10 Dark Pendulum. Pendulum. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. There we go. Another Ryugi Pendulum monster. Pendulum scale of 11. You can only use the second Pendulum effect once per turn. You cannot Pendulum summon except Ryugi monsters. This effect cannot be negated. When an opponent's card or effect resolves that was activated in response to the activation of your Ryugi spell or card effect, you can negate that effect and destroy this card. This is the exact same as Raziel Cross, so you're not actually chaining to the effect of your opponent's card, really. You're just saying, you know what, it's fine. It resolves, but then it resolves with no effect, basically. It's very interesting. So yeah, you're negating the effect of a card on resolution. Again, like, Raziel Cross was supposed to be unique, and then they're printing more cards that are like that, but then again, you can argue that the Dynamist monsters are pretty much the exact same. There are continuous effects to negate, which is also very unique. And then there's some other cards out there, like the Vernalith's Goddess or something like that, and another card, I think, that just negate continuously. It's really weird. But yeah, this is a good effect. Obviously, if your opponent tries to Ogre or Ash your good ritual monster. It's a monster, but like it's a spell because it's a pendulum ritual monster. There you go. So like the good effect is as a spell card. So yeah, your opponent tries to Ogre or Ash that, you just go, nah, not gonna work. Negate that shit. Very good effect for sure. No complaints there. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of the monster effect once per turn. You can tribute a Ryugi monster from your hand or field, except itself. Special summon this card from your hand. That's already very nice. If this card is special summon, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. It can be any card, even your own. And Ryugi does kind of benefit a little bit off of self-destruction to some extent. And if this card is destroyed, you can place a Ryugi continuous spell or trap card from your deck, graveyard, or banished face up on your field. So you can get the Dimensional Fisher or whatever, which is obviously a very good card. So no complaints about this card whatsoever. It's fantastic for sure. Now, the thing is, I'm not going to start pretending like Ryugi is going to be meta relevant just because we get one new card, but maybe the continuous trap card is going to be good. Even though, then again, it's never a trap card that's going to make your deck go from garbage to great at the speed of light. You can only use the second and third effect once per turn. Your opponent cannot target Ryugi monsters you control with card effects. That's fine. It's not great, but it's not bad. If you have a Ryugi Pendulum monster on your field or face-up extra deck, which is very easy to do, you can shuffle 2 Ryugi monsters from your hand, grave, and or banished into the deck, then target a monster on the field, destroy it. That's not too bad. And then if this card is destroyed, you can set a non-continuous Ryugi Chop from your deck, graveyard, or banished. Wait a second, hold on a second. Is there even a Ryugi Chop card out there? Like, to my knowledge, they're all continuous spells. Oh yeah, no, there is Ryugi Rivalry. Special summon a Ryugi monster from a hand, deck, or grave. You can banish this card from a grave, then target one. Okay, yeah, that card kind of sucks. I mean, it's not garbage, but it's pretty garbage. Okay, anyways, let's get into the more interesting cards, the new Malice cards from Alliance Insight. First of all, I gotta start by saying that these might be some of the coolest artworks I've ever seen, really. First of all, the monster looks, I mean, it looks okay, but the spell card is so freaking badass. You know, it's 50% White Binder and then 50% Red Ransom, but it's executed so well. And then also the mirrors for like the perfect symmetry. I just find it to be really cool. And also it's like on a chess field or something, pixelated chess field. So it really gives you that Cybers vibe. I like it a lot. I just think the Malice cards have a really cool design, especially the Link monsters. I just like the fact that there's like a frame in the artwork. So it's just overall something that I really like about the deck. It's just that I don't like playing the deck right now in the current format. And also it's pretty standard, so I'm trying to play something else. Anyways, Malice P March Hare. Okay, so every monster is based on an animal. This one is the hare, and then obviously Dormouse is the mouse. Chessy Cat is the cat, and then White Rabbit is the rabbit. Yeah, no shit. Okay, level 3 Dark Cybers, blah, blah, blah. You can only use the first and third effect once per turn. During the main phase of this card is in your grave, hand, not even close. Quick effect, you can banish another Malice card from your hand or grave, and if you do special summon this card, this is basically a Bestial Malice. Yeah, you're gonna be... It acts as an extender, but it doesn't really do anything on its own. Your opponent cannot target Malice Link monsters at that point to this card with card effects. That's actually one of the best continuous effects for a Malice monster so far. Usually they're kind of mediocre, but this is not too bad. If this card becomes banished, you can pay 300 life points, then target one of your banished Malice monsters, add it to your hand. This effect is not too great, honestly. It's, it doesn't really matter too much that you recycle back your Malice monsters from your hand, because when they're already banished, it means that they're probably trying to use their effects to, like, revive themselves back. I don't know, like, it's... The cards that you're really trying to recycle back are the cards in your graveyard, I think. Not necessarily... Or, like, the banished, like, Malice trap cards. Maybe that could be relevant. But recycling back a banished Malice monster, it looks a little garbage. I don't know. This is not a good effect. It would have been so much better if it could just revive itself back. Then that would have been fantastic. Or if it could... Hold on a second. Yeah, you know what? I just realized something. If this card can recycle itself back... Okay, so I think this might be the best application for this card. You banish it off of Red Ransom, and then you add it back to your hand, and then you summon it. That is very interesting, because what it means is that you don't have to play Dotscaper anymore. This is officially better than Dotscaper, meaning that, you know, Dominus Impulse is a card that you can easily main deck and not feel bad about it. So just in case you can't really visualize it, you know when you activate the TB11 to banish the Red Ransom, summon the Chessy Cat, and then revive back your Red Ransom, and then banish the Dotscaper, Dotscaper comes back. You can say, you know what, screw that, I don't need to do any of that, I'm just going to be banishing the March Hare instead of banishing the Dotscaper, and then this triggers, recycles itself back, and then you use the in-hand effect, so this effect. You banish any other Malice card from your graveyard, you summon this, so you banish like your White Rabbit, your Chop card, whatever, the TB11, and then you play from there. So that's infinitely better. I'm definitely a big fan. Great card overall. Wow, I'm actually really shocked. I wasn't really expecting this card to just allow the deck to be played as a better pure deck. This is a much better card to draw than Dotscaper overall, because again, it kind of behaves like a Bestial. It's just that it doesn't really interact with the opponent, that's it. Anyways, Malice in the Mirror, that is a quickly spell card that you can only use both effects once per turn. So target one face-up monster upon controls, you're banishing one Malice monster from your hand or face-up field, and then if you do that, you negate the targeted monster's effect until the end of this turn. Okay, yeah, this is not really good. It only negates monster effects, which it's not something that's supposed to, like, scare you, I guess. You're not really scared of board breakers overall, so I would really just be worried about cards like Lancia and stuff like that, which this card clearly doesn't fix. You can argue that, you know, if you go normal summon Dormouse and then effect, and then your opponent chains Lancia, then at least you can use this as a defensive card. But then again, are you trying to play 3 copies of this so that you hard draw it to do that? Of course not. You're trying to play 1 copy so that Red Ransom can surge this card when you already have the field spell. But like, this card's really not too great. Maybe you can side 1 copy in going first post game 1 so that you got more interruptions, but it's not good enough. If it could negate all kinds of cards, then it would have been broken. Like, actually unfair if it could just negate anything, but it only negates monster effects. So I have seen better. But then again, you can also banish, like, the Malice monsters on your field, and then that could be beneficial. I don't freaking know. Anyways, if this card becomes banished, you can target a Malice card in your grave, banish it, and if you do, add 1 Malice card of the same type, so a monster, spell, or trap from your deck to your hand. This is complicated for absolutely no good reason. So I think this card is actually kind of mediocre. I'm not a big fan of it. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. It's not a card that you gotta play. The March here is like a solid 7 out of 10, 7.5. Just because Dotscaper isn't a great card in Malice. It's actually mediocre. It's a card that you're really not trying to draw at all. Unless you have like Dotscaper and 4 hand traps and your opponent has nothing, then you can make like a baby board with Dotscaper. But if you got like Dotscaper and a bunch of Malice cards, then you're not going to be happy at all. And yeah, this card allows you to kind of fix that issue, which I like a lot. So Malice P March here makes Malice better. And then the Ryugi cards, I mean, the monster, fantastic. This card's amazing. It clearly is going to be fixing a lot of issues that the Ryugi deck used to have, such as, for example, you know, playing around Ogre and Ash on your ritual monster, the Pendulum effect. And then this effect just gives you more gas and makes the going second a little better because you can destroy things. And then the Ryugi monsters, when you draw them, they kind of at least serve a purpose to some degree, so that's also very nice. And I believe you can search any Ryugi monster with the Ryugi Rising, the quick play spell card. There you go, you can. So that's also very nice, for sure. So yeah, I think this card is good as well. I think this card is fantastic in the Yugi deck. And then finally, I'm just a little, not really disappointed, but just a little sad to see another barrel get errata. I mean, not really errata, but like its effect corrected. But then again, it had to happen. But yeah, anyways, you guys let me know how you feel about all of these news in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.